Welcome everyone to another day at fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. I'm here with the wonderful Nick Hunter, a long-standing senior engineer at RCC, and frankly one of the best in this when it comes to UI, UX, and really pushing FileMaker to the end of its limitations. Always good to have him on board. Let's discuss the training schedule real fast. So today we're finishing up a mini-series with Nick, importing into FileMaker Chat GPT Day 2. So Chat GPT has been a recent thing we've been focused on due to the recent prevalence of AI and the unique ways it can be integrated into FileMaker solutions. So this will be Nick's last mini-series with us for about 2 months, I think. Then Richard will be starting this new series over here. So Thursday, we'll have Hansa on to discuss inventory using barcodes or RFID. Inventory counting is interesting. Friday will be secret number 1 to database speed performance. And then Monday and Tuesday begins basically our beginner series for FileMaker beginners or intermediates or pretty much anyone if you want to drop by and see it. We're pretty much covering FileMaker from start to end in terms of like getting a really good beginner's grasp on the platform so you can begin working on your own solutions. If you'd like to support the channel, we would greatly appreciate it. Our bundles options here. We got 3 or 100 plus hours of video content, while the Law and Disorder series will be live. So you'll be able to ask questions, interact, and talk to Richard. I know that doesn't work for that works for like a lot of people, but it also doesn't work for a lot of people. They prefer to study in their own time and have like really small condensed bite-sized nuggets. This is what these videos are. They're about 7 to 20 minutes long each, highly animated, very condensed on specific topics that you can search. They pretty much cover everything: variables, relationships, calculations, scripting, FileMaker Server, FileMaker Pro, WebDirect, Go, all that jazz. We talk about it. With that being said, Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello, everybody. Hello, Mark. So sorry if my voice is a little bit weird or if I'm coughing. I'm sick. So, but it's okay. I took medicine, so I'm feeling good. So, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining the webinar today. So, yes, it's a great webinar. So the AI, the Chat GPT, we use it to change the file into text, right, into something that we can read in FileMaker, right? So this is it's a transition. It's a converted piece of text in something that we can analyze and we can read and we can take take things out of it, right? After that, we're back in the FileMaker world, okay? But we need to learn. And we need to learn things in FileMaker in order to use what ChatGPT is giving us, right? In order to read it, so we need to learn FileMaker in one way. Then we can get everything. We can read everything in an easy way. We can read anything coming from ChatGPT, anything, without changing the script for any changes that can come out from ChatGPT, right? So we need something that can adapt itself to what ChatGPT is giving to us. In the same time, we need to learn a technique that is fast, right, and easy to implement and easy to recycle, easy to copy paste in other solution and something like this, right? So we need something adaptable, smart. We need a smart way to exploit what ChatGPT is giving us, the JSON file, the JSON text, right? And then get the data out of it. So to do so, yesterday we learned about how to name a variable dynamically. Okay, so how we can get a variable that the name will be calculated, right? So we use for that the let statement. So let me share my screen here really quick. We use the let statement to do this, right? And yesterday I was using something that wasn't working, so I was doing something like this. I was asking to evaluate the field name, right? I was asking to evaluate the field name and use this as a variable. But after that, after investigation, I realized, right? So I explained why yesterday thing wasn't working, is because the field name return those characters. It doesn't return only this. It's return the table, 2 columns, and then the name of the field. This cannot be used as a variable name. FileMaker will say no, it's prohibited. You cannot use those characters. So that's why it wasn't working, is because we cannot use a column in the name. So that's why it wasn't working. But evaluate, you build a piece of text, right? You build a piece of text, right? So a variable like this cannot exist. But you build a piece of text like this, and then this is a text, and then you ask FileMaker, make this, as it were a calculation, okay? Take the text and execute it, perform the calculation based on the text I give you. That evaluates, okay? So today we are going to learn how to build multi-value variable. So we all know about, so let me do this. We all know, so let's change this because, I don't want this, I want this. So we all know about the multi-value fields, right? So we can take this city and make it multi-value. So we all know about this, right? We all know about this, okay? So now this, I have 5 fields in one, right? So now I can have 5, right? Oops. I can have 5 city in one field, okay? So that we all know about this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can put whatever here, whatever here, whatever here, whatever here, right? And I have 5. We all know about this, right? And we all know that we can do this. I want the city. I want the city, right? But this is a first. So let's put a real city. So I put Paris, Athens, Santa Clara, San Francisco, and San Francisco and Dallas. Okay. So I have 5 cities here, right? So we all know that. We all know that if we want to query that field, okay, I can do this, right? And I can say, I want the third one, the second one, or I want the third, the fourth, the 5, right? So to do that, you put brackets. You put bracket like this, and you put the number of the repetition you want. Okay. So we all know that. So for the first, we don't need anything. If you put this, that will always be the first. We can do that, but it's useless. Okay. If we want the second, the fourth, the third, the fourth, the fifth, if we say 6, question mark, because we don't have 6. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so that's for fields. But we can do the same, okay, in a variable. So demonstration. So I show you the natural way to do this. We can say set variable city, and we say Paris. Okay. set variable city repetition 2, and we say Athens. We say city repetition 3, and we say Santa Clara. City repetition 4, etc. Okay. San Francisco and Dallas in 5. Okay. So now if I execute these scripts, right? So you see, for the first, it doesn't put the bracket 1. For the second, yes. The third, the fourth, and the fifth. Correct? So if I do this, now I have 5 city like this with my name. Okay? City 1, city 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if I go there and I say, okay, show me the variable city. He said Paris, that's the variable city. Okay? What about the variable city 2? The variable city 3? The variable city 4? City 5? So you do the same as we do for the fields, right? For the fields, you do this. It's the same for the variable. Correct? Okay. So now I know, and we know how to use this. Correct? So how we can use this, for example, how we can, why this can be useful, in which case scenario. For this, for example, I do a loop. First, I say, okay, set variable, right? And I say city field. City field, right? Okay, it's variable all cities. Let's name it like this. And I do a list of the cities, right? So what the list of the city will do? It will do this. I have all the cities I put in this field, the multi-value field. If I remove this, I have only the first. If I put list, I have all of them. Okay? Well, so I have all cities. Now I need to know how many cities I have. Okay? Value count, right? And I want to say value count of cities, of all cities. So I know how many. Now I say a loop. I set variable, a name counter plus 1, right? Each time I have a loop, it will say 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want to set a variable name current city, and I say get value of all my cities with the counter Okay. And the repetition is a counter. And I exit loop if counter equal value count. So what did I do here? I collect all the cities. I count them because maybe I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I have 5, but now I have 4, right? So, okay. I count how many cities I have. I do a loop. I have a counter that each loop say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. And here I said, okay, create a variable named current city. For each loop, put the repetition number as what the counter returns. So 1 in the first, 2nd in the second, 3rd in the 3 in the first. Okay. And get me the value of all the city based on the counter. So the first city, the first loop that I will have the first city, the second loop I will have the second, the third loop I will have the third. All this in one variable demonstration. What is name? Oh, I need to name it. Sorry, like this. It needs to be global, otherwise I don't see it. So, boom. Now I have current city 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in one unique variable. So why we do this? We say, Nick, why you do this? For what reason you're going to do this? For that reason. Let me show you. I have here now, I create a new table called items. Okay, whatever. I have ID item. This is like this. And I have the item or the city, for example. Let's take city. Okay. I have the city. Correct? Okay. Now I have this. So now I have all my city from this. Okay, I have my city from here. I have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now I'm going there, right? And I will have another script. Okay. I do a loop. I'm counting how many. Okay. How many variable I have. Okay, so okay, I don't need that. I'm doing a loop. I don't want to make it complicated. I'm doing a loop. Okay. I say new record, set field, city with the contents of that city, correct? And brackets and get record number and this. Exit loop when get record number equal 5. I have 5, you know. So now, okay, what this will do? This. Yeah, but yeah. So I think I need to evaluate this. I forgot this. Evaluate. So let's delete all. No. I didn't expect it to do that today, and I didn't. So city. Oh, sorry. It's current city, right? That the name. Yeah, current city, not city. It's current city. Current city. Boom. So delete all. Sorry for that. Still not working. Maybe I don't need that. Yeah, I need to do this, I think. I need to do this, I think. Up. Sorry for that. I need to delete all first. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry for that. I didn't plan to do that today, but okay. So now, okay, I can get for each record, right? For each record, I can get the contents of these variables. But because the name is unique of the variable, the name is unique, I don't need to create multiple names of the variable, right? So because if I have 10,000 items, you don't want to have 10,000 create 10,000 set variable. No, the script here sets the variable automatically with the same name, but make the differentiation with the repetition. And this, right, do the job. Just I want to know if I need to do this or if it was just because let me do this. I think I don't need to do that, but it's okay. I think this will work the same. Just make sure. No, I need to evaluate. Okay. So I'm going to come back to the evaluate another later. So let's say now I'm combining both. Okay. Oh, I don't need that. I'm combining both. So new window, delete all, just for the demo. So I'm combining both, okay? Because I don't want to make this a global variable. Because I don't want to have this always there, you know. I don't want that. I want the variable to be available during the script and then go away. Okay? Okay? So now I can do something like this. Okay? And here I don't have the pollution. So let me close that file, reopen it again. Okay? So now here I have no pollution, I have no variables. And if I launch that script, this is how I do it. I create the variable, boom, 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 boom. But those are variable, they are all local variable. That means if I kill the scripts, they goes away. They go away. Okay? They are local variable. So now I can do this. I get this. Okay, I delete all that for my demo. And then I say, okay, new record request, new. Boom. And I have, so let me delete this. and I have my cities, correct? So let's say, so I change the city. I have another record here, and I change the city. So New York, London, Brussels, Nice, and Monaco. Okay, so I change the cities, right? So now I run the scripts, boom. I have those now. Okay, so that works with the repetition on the variable. The repetition has two big advantages. First, I can create as many variables I want based on records. So I can easily take something out from, put it in variable as a list of items separated by the counter. City 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So like this. One, so let's put a break here. So now I have this. Okay? I have this. That's my cities. Correct? Thanks to the number. So this is 1 by default. Okay? You understand that, right? Thanks to the number, I can tie the record. Thanks to the number, I can tie the record number to which repetition I want, right? For that record. Since this is the get record number 1, right? It will get the city. Let's do it like that way. This is a record number 1. It set the city with the first city using this one. Now I create a new record. This is record number 2. So he goes there and takes the current city number 2, which is London. Now go back, create a new record. Now I am in record number 3. So he takes Brussels. Now number 4, he takes Nice. And number 5, he takes Monaco. Right? Of course. So now I can get, this could be a get record number, or I can do the same as this. Okay. I can do this one. Okay. And do the same. That means I can say this. If this equal the value count. And I can use this as my number. I can do that as well. Okay? Demonstration. Right? Boom, 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 boom. Counter, 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 counter. And here, I'm setting the counter number 2. Okay? And that will be my number. I count 1, so I get 1, the first. Now, boom. Now it's number 3. Here's number 2. It gets New York. Now the counter is number 3. So I can use counter. Now, another example, then we go to the question. Another great example of how to use repetition in a variable. If I do this, I'm going screwed, literally. Why? Because it does this. It said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the counter says 5. That's okay. So it creates the cities. But here, if I do this, if I continue to use the counter, it will say 6. But I don't have city 6. So I will get this. I need to reset this. Yeah. Well, no. I can still use the same name, but use the repetition. Correct? No, here, sorry. Another way to use it. So the variable still counter, I'm pointing to the counter 2 because I'm going to create this one, okay? So it's the same, but it resets itself. Oh, I need to get out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So counter 5. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Correct? I have 2 counters. So it's a good way also to use our, what's the name? Global variable, repetition in variable. Because you can point to the same name and then pick up the repetition you want and not changing the names. Okay? Could be useful sometime. Okay? So if we have questions at the time.
Not at the moment. So you're good.
Okay. So now you understand why it's very important what we are going to do right now, you know, because what we want to do is to get this and create records with the data we have here. But each one points to the same name. But we need something to differentiate each record. And that's why, to do this, we have this. So now you understand what I'm going to do. Okay? I am going to use that variable name, which is unique. And on the record number 2, I'm going to put this one. On the record number 3, I'm going to put this one on record number 4. I'm going to put this one in the 5 and the 6 and the 7. The same for the price, the same for the description. So I can take out, I can extract data from this, put in variables, and then deal with the variables, right? And since we are dealing with text within one field, and we are using local variable, this is almost instant. You understand? So now, how we create variable names, calculated variable names with the counter, with the repetition number. Okay, well, like this. No, this one, where it is, yeah, you see 4, so this one, okay. So we do like this. So we evaluate, so let's do one test with a simple script, okay? With a simple script like this. So so let's do this, but I want to create the name of the variable with the repetition, not using a set variable, but using a calc. Okay? But how? So now the question is this: the egg or the chicken? Which one first? Because here so far I was using the data viewer to create the variable name. So that's cool. That's super cool, right? But I don't use that in the real world. I'm using scripts. I'm using calc, right? So how I can use a calc to generate the let statement to create the variable calculated name without polluting all my stuff, without any pollution? Well, this is how it's done. So I want, first, I'm creating a variable that I'm going to name null. Null. So that is something that people doesn't know about FileMaker. If you name a variable null, it won't be created, period. So I have my variable name null. So let's remove this. Okay. Variable name null. And inside my variable, I'm going to say, okay, I want to evaluate a let statement, okay, with a variable name based on, I don't know, based on the month, based on the month name, for example, of the get current date. Okay? I want the variable to be named on the month of get current date, for example. Or on the month, then I can do multiple tests on that date. I want the variable to be named on the month that I have on that date, correct? And so that my let's calculation. I said this is equal, okay? So let's month name. So what we can do to help you build this, you can do this. You go to the data viewer and you build it that way. Then you see your stuff coming here. Okay? You see your stuff coming here. So I need to put a date here. Let's put a date. I think I have one here. Yeah. Okay? So you can see your calc builds and you can check the accuracy of what you type, what you build. I'm building this piece of text and function, field name, and piece of text, correct? And I can equal something, can be, I don't know, I want I want the city, for example. Okay. Correct. So this is, but this is not done yet, because if I ask to evaluate this, it won't work. If I paste this here, so that's why the data viewer is very important. If I put that here, it said table missing because it doesn't work. Doesn't work. It's not something that works. You understand? If I try to validate this, it says missing, the table not found. It doesn't work. Okay. So remember, we need to quote this, because this is what FileMaker will read if you type a let statement and you build this really with FileMaker calculation dialog. You need to type it that way. And then you say and, like this. Okay, so that is let statement, you know. And I don't really care what after that. Okay. I can say and quote this, right? And I want to terminate this. This FileMaker will understand I wrote it correctly. Proof. If I'm going there, I have no error. And if I go to check, it builds Paris. You know, no, it's September, Paris. I have it. I have my variable September Paris. This works. Correct? So now I want, so that was the real stuff, but I don't have this, you know. I want to evaluate this. I want to make this text reality. I want this text to be part of something that works. Okay? So I'm asking FileMaker to evaluate this. Okay? So, demonstration. I changed the name of this. So let's do two things here. Oops. I need two things. First, I need this. And then I need this. Okay. This was September Paris, but if I say Marseille and I change this to November, I go there and I refresh this evaluation, you know. Now I have November, Marseille. Correct? So now I can use this. Follow me well. I want this because I don't, the data viewer is just for helping you to build something. So I delete this. I'm going to delete all of those things. Not all, but this. Delete all. Don't have this. This variable, so here you need to follow me. The null variable is going to make me, is a support to make this calc fired, you know. I want that calc to create the variable, but not the variable itself. The variable itself, I want the variable itself to vanish. I don't want the variable. That's variable. I don't need it. It's just a support to make that calculation, to calculate the name of the variable I want to create without setting a field. You know what I mean? I need something. I could use set field. Set field, and inside the calculation of the set field, put this. It works. But why you want to set a field? The best is to use a variable, a local variable, that will vanish. But that will vanish. So let's change this again. Okay. So, and let's close that file and open it again. I do that to clean to clean that. Okay. So I don't have the variable, right? It's not there. So now this here, look this. Okay. I'm doing this. I have my counter. All CT counter value count. All CT, I have all my stuff. Okay. And now this null variable doesn't exist. Do you see a null variable here? Do you see a variable named null? I don't see it. But I have my February variable named with the city. I have this. This has been evaluated, calculated, right? So I have it, but I don't have the null. The null is vanished. The null never been created. So that's why we use null as a name of a variable to do this kind of stuff. I told you it was very advanced. Huh? I told you that, and wait until tomorrow. But it's not that complicated when you know how the evaluate works. That 2 days now that I'm on the evaluate. So now I want to combine this with the repetition. So that works well. But if I do it again, if I do the loop, look what happened. Look what happened. If I do it again, so now February is Athens. Okay? So it's always Athens, right? Because it's not doing the job I want to do, because I'm not taking care of the repetition. So now let's make it a little bit more evolved. If I say, now we need a let statement. We need a let statement to get the data I'm going to use in the evaluate that will make me this. Okay, so I told you it was advanced. Okay, what do I need here? What do I need? Okay, I need the cities. You know, cities equal this. Correct? Remember, I have a counter here. So current, no, I want all cities. Sorry, you know. Yeah, okay, yeah, maybe I can do that easier. Now, okay, cities is this. Sorry, is all city. I'm getting inside this calc. I'm getting the variable that suck all the cities in memory. That's why I'm using the variable all the time. I'm taking everything in the I'm taking everything in the variable, then it's available to me at all time. The current city is this. Get value, okay, of the cities, and the value number, it whatever the counter returns. Okay? So from that city, I want the current city. That means If this return 1, I want the first city of this. If the counter said 2, I want the second. So now I have the right city. So now I can use current city here because this is what I want. I want this to be the current city. Correct? Well, now I want to take care of this. The name of the variable. So the name of the variable is this, variable name equal whatever this. And this, and my famous counter, and this. And this is my variable name. So now you know why I use let statements, because this is where my brain is focusing. This is where the brain is focusing, because this is the evaluate. This is where the complication here is. This is where the complication is. I'm taking out things from there to make this more readable. Now I know I'm getting all my cities. My current city is this, and my variable name is this. The month name, brackets, the counter, closing bracket. Now, and I want to evaluate this. This piece of text, FileMaker will make it like a calc. Demonstration. Remember here, February was Athens. But now, I get my all city. How many cities I have? 5. Setting the counter, 1. And now I have this. Boom. So February, Athens. February 2, Paris. February 3, Santa Clara. February 4, San Francisco. February 5, Dallas. Correct? So now I have the combination of a calculated variable with the name of the variable calculated, okay? The number of the repetition calculated, and I'm getting the right data from the list, and I'm combining both, all based on this number. If I change the month, okay, look what happened. April, Athens. April 2, Paris. April 3, April 4, April 5. Now, if I changed this, I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I changed this to June. I don't care. Why? Because my calculation will be done. I changed both, right? I changed the city, I changed the month. So now I have this, boom. June, 1, 2, 3, 4. June 2, 5, 6, 8. June 3, June 5, 4, June 5. So now you understand that you enter another dimension here. Of course, I'm making global variable for the demonstration. I will never use this. I will use local variable, not global, because you don't want to keep all of this alive all the time. Okay. So I'm going to close that file, reopen it again, and do the demonstration like this. So I have no variable, I have only those. Boom. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have this local. I do whatever I want. As long as this script is running, I can use that, right? I can use that. I can go to this, another layout, another table. I have my variable. They are still alive until this script's done. I can do this and do this, Okay, it doesn't work because I changed the name, right? But if I kill the scripts, gone, right? So I don't care if I have 10,000 variable in my memory, Of course, I don't expect to use that technique for 10,000 record anyway. I will have like 15, 20, or 30. Okay. Remember, because Chat GPT won't accept a text with 10,000 records. So that's why when we want to do the PDF recognition, we do page by page. Remember my OCR stuff, do recognition page by page. So we take care of the first page, we import it, we go, second page, we import it, third page, we go, we import it, 4, we go, we import it, right? Using that technique, right? So do we have any questions?
Yes. All cities is a multi-value variable? Question mark.
No. This is a list of values. So what the difference between a list of values? So let's do it again. This is one variable with multiple value inside. Okay. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is one variable with all the value inside. This is a multi-value variable with one value inside on each repetition. Pretty much is the same difference as this. This is a multi-value field, right? So let's take this one. And this in one field, this is one field with multi-value inside. Correct? So it's the same. Multi-value, one field with many values inside. It's not the same. Why? Because as for the variable, if I go there and I say all cities, I have this. But I want the second one. How you do that? This doesn't work. So you need to do this. Get value in this too. Yeah, you can do that, but it's a piece of garbage. No, the best is to do this. That the first, the second, the third, 5. It is exactly the same here, but for variable demonstration. I have my old city. What's the name? Yeah. I have my old city variable. Okay. Correct. I have my old city variable. But if I want the second one, I need to do the same. Get value of this 2 or 3. I can do that, right? But with this, so what's the name of the variable? Oh, there's no name because there's no dates. Hold on. I need to put a date inside this record. Okay. Okay. So now, what's the name? June. Okay. Remember, if I use the old city, I have this. But if I said June, I have this. 2, 3, 4, 5, right? It's better than to do this because the separation is clean. Everything connected. Everything's, visually, it's simpler. And I need to calculate the name of the variable, right? So everything would have been much more complicated without the repetition. Okay? Because I will have to set the variable with the content of itself. And that's complicated. Okay? So, other question? I hope I answered the question. I hope you understand the difference between the two. With the field is more visual. So now you understand the difference between multiple value or multiple value variable, or one field with multiple values and one variable with multiple values. That's very different.
Got it. Nope. I think that did answer the question. Thank you very much, Nick.
Yeah. So just a sneak peek for tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to use all of this here. So be ready. So this is what we're going to do tomorrow. Okay. We use all of this. So we use all the JSON, the get element type, the list key. You can see, all the type, all the thing, everything, how to the null variable to create the thing and stuff like this. And then thanks to this, we can build something like this and we get everything done like this tomorrow.
Yep. Thank you very much, Nick. We look forward to having you back tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.